Hey, anybody in? I am going to start a little bit early today. Let's see how well it goes. Oh, weekends. Always tired after a weekend. Yes, thank you for the email. I know I am live on YouTube. Thank you very much. Right, so live streams. We are on this one today. Hacking on PHPOnline. So the plan for this stream, I'm going to take it a little bit slowly because I'm not meant to start for another few minutes, is to add some features to PHPOnline so we can get a little bit closer to launching. This is going to include registering your RSS feed, showing validated feeds versus non-validated feeds, importing feed items on a schedule, user profiles, showing feeds on user profiles, showing podcasts and packages on user profiles. Eventually, we're going to get around to adding validation for DNS, using the sparsely DNS package to fetch any text records and to check for the correct validation record. And the meta validation is going to continue using the meta value lookup. So I've already built parts of this, but I wanted to run through it because I'm going to be refactoring parts of it anyway. Let's add a cover because we all like covers. We'll change the cover to be an elephant. There we go. Hacking on PHPOnline. So where are we? Let's go to our browser window. We are on Safari for the stream. So back to the home page. So far we don't have much going on. We've got these articles where we can kind of click through and see an article. This is all going to be built out properly at some point soon. Streams here, these are going to be pulling from powered by Lara Streams. So if you haven't already used Lara Streams, here I am here. So let's add some features to PHPOnline. And here's some on Tuesday. Hey, thanks for joining. So I built this, I believe I built this last time I was working on PHPOnline. And basically, we're just pulling the RSS feed, basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try and run that now. So PHP artisan, what was my command called? Stream sync, this one. And all this does is sync all streams from larastreamers.com. So I'm just going to sync them. That should all be done now. So there we go. We've got all of the streams. And here's me. If I click on that one, it'll take me somewhere I'm not meant to be. Apparently, so will that one. So I'll fix that one today. Actually, I'll fix that now. Fix that now to warm myself up. So that is on the views static streams index. We've got Livewire streams stream list. So what have we got going on here? Let's try and make this a little bit bigger for you. Let's hide my little bar. Not too interested in this watch on YouTube. Let's go into an external URL. We are more interested in this. So what are we getting back? So we've got the stream. So if I just open up this and come to streams, what are we actually going to be seeing? We're going to see an external URL. So what we could do is quite easily just set this down a line, bring this across, and the URL is just going to be the external URL. And in good fashion, I will make sure that this goes to a new tab and that it is no open and a no follow. I keep getting lag. I think it's my Welsh internet connection. It is absolutely dreadful. And I don't have any options in StreamYard for changing that, unfortunately. I am debating about moving over to Restream and using something else like just OBS, because I didn't have any issues. And yes, sorry, I've got one of my clickety clackety keyboards, but it looks really cool. I'll try and sit further away from the keyboard. So if I now click on this, this should take me to YouTube, which will allow me to set a reminder. Perfect. Perfect. Those are some good talks. Definitely going to tune into those. But what it means, we can search. So, so here we've got Freak here. Yeah, I need a better keyboard. This was what I got when I first went remote a couple of years ago, and it was the best one I could find at the time. Maybe sometime I'll get a better one. So if I click on that, I know I can just filter that to Freaks Call Talks. I can filter them to mine, or can filter it to that one. This will get worked on a little bit later because it's not perfect. Something I threw together as a UI just for a little bit of fun. But the purpose of today's stream is hacking on PHPOnline. So we're going to be worrying about RSS feeds today. Hey, thanks for joining. And we're going to have a validation process for RSS feeds. So the idea behind that is if I just kind of go to my website, I've already kind of pre-added stuff to my website. So if I just kind of show the page source, because that's important on these things. And if I scroll down, we've got all of the usual meta information, Twitter widgets, canonical. Here we go. We've got this, which I've added to my website. The PHPOnline domain verification as a meta title. So what that allows me to do is when I register my website with its RSS feed, I will be able to really easily just validate it as a source, and that I actually own that source. So without further ado, let's close some of this down. You don't really need to look at my website because it's not that interesting. Let's sign in. Your usual Jetstream little look going on here. I can't even spell today. You can tell I've had the day off because I can't spell. My super secure password. Welcome back. Right, so if I come over here, go to my dashboard, I haven't really got anything yet because I've not added much. We can do our usual profile business, which you get with Laravel Jetstream, which is kind of really cool, which I like. We've got packages that you've submitted, so you can like go through to submit a new package. Haven't hooked that up just yet. Submitting articles. I haven't gotten this bit properly working yet. I'm going to be working on that at some point soon, hopefully. But feeds, we're going to be working on feeds. So add a new feed source to help inspire and teach the community. So the idea for this is that, you know, you've probably got your own personal website and you want to, you want people to visit your website, you want people to read your articles, all of that good stuff. But it's so hard to find. You know, you go around the internet looking for tutorials, looking for articles on something in particular, and you get hit by the Medium paywall, or you get lost by Safari lagging. Let me try and open this in a Firefox window. Let me just pop that out. Drop it down really small because I've had to resize my screen. tell you what we'll do. We'll try it in Firefox. I'm actually using StreamYard on Firefox as well. See if that's any better. So let me log back in. Yes, log me in. So we got our feeds. So yeah, finding articles online is hard. You know, you get hit by paywalls, you get outdated content, you get some stuff that just isn't quite what you're looking for. So on PHPOnline, I allow you to submit your feed so people can find your content easier. So if I go to submit your feed, so what I'll do is feed title, name of my blog, my website URL. Ooh, I can't even spell my name today. So what this will do, you click the verify, and what it's going to do is it will basically just check to see if you've got a feed available. Like if I put a URL in here that might not have an RSS feed, so let's say Tesco. Verify. Okay. So it's decided to freeze. Hey, retime after 10 seconds. Perfect. So I need to look at fixing that soon. So I'll put in one that definitely works. Me. I don't know if it needs to start with HTTPS. Invalid format. Yes. So there we go. My website verifies. Let's go check. Excellent. I've detected that there's a feed available on my website. And the feeds available are either going to be a RSS or an Atom feed. I've only got RSS available, and that's under that URL. So I can say, cool, let's save that. Bam. So now it's gone through. Here's your feed. It's flashed a nice new message at me saying, please create a meta tag on your website to verify ownership using the name of PHPOnline verification with the content of this. So because I've already added the tag to my website, I don't want to go through that verification and have to push it all live and do all of that rubbish again, because I've already done it for while I was testing. So what we're going to do, I'm going to grab this. I'm going to cheat because I built it. I'm going to cheat. So feeds, feed URL, verification token. We're just going to update this here. So all we're capturing here is we've got a UID, a title, a description, URL, feed URL, any meta information, the verification token, whether it's been verified, and a user ID. Nothing too crazy. So now I can come here, awaiting verification. I can click on it. And so this part here, so this will, below are the details from your feed. So in the background, we're going to be running a queue worker. So if I just run my queue quickly, move that darn menu out of the way. So if I just do queue work, fetching package meta, fetching feed items, fetching metadata, something failed, but I'll go have a look at that in a moment. So now if I go back to my database, I should have no meta information. What is it complaining about? So failed jobs. We are failing on something. Ooh, queue handler call, command, display name. So it's complaining about something. That's a new one. Call to a member function cancelled on null. Oh, okay, so cancelled fetch metadata line 31. So let's go and make sure that that works. So let's fix my my job first. So line 31. I don't know why I've done that there. So all we need to do is, let's just remove that because I can't remember why I put that in there. So when we serialize, we pass through the feed ID, and then we get the feed from that. We then do stuff by getting the open graph data. We fetch from the feed URL, getting all the metadata. Then we're just going to quickly update the description and update the meta. Nice, quick, nice and easy. And this is just going to kind of clear out any null empty values because they get annoying to look at. So what we'll do is just rerun the queue work. Let's come back to our database. Let's just clear out these failed jobs quickly, truncate that one. Truncate the feed as well. Truncate that one. And let's just go back to our browser. Right, so excellent. Not found. Perfect, because I removed you, and that is absolutely fine. So let's submit a new one. Let's make sure our job is running in the background. Go away containers. Our queue is working in the background, which means we can now just focus on getting this running. Just steveking.uk. Right. Check my website. We've got a feed. Where's that coming from? Sorry. Select the RSS feed. Because it's a relation. Oh, in here somewhere. Oh, there's no relations in this part. We're just finding the feed. Then we are getting from the feed URL, we're getting any meta information, and then we're just going to quickly update the feed that we had using the description we had. If there's no description coming back from the meta details, then we're just updating all the meta information as we go. So back to this. I can now submit this, save that. Failed again. Oh, it's thwarting me tonight. I've deleted it. Why is this failing? Failed jobs. Function cancelled, job feeds, meta lines. I swear I deleted that. I could have sworn I deleted that. No batches, feeds, let's truncate you again. So let's just debug as we go. So cancelled. We haven't got anything going on here. I'm assuming Composer has probably cached something there, perhaps. So let's rework that queue. Let's see what's going on. Spell your name right today, Steve. I better be out of this funk by tomorrow, otherwise I'm going to have a really bad day at work. So I can select my feed, save that, come back to here. Processing. We are processing. Let's see what it's going to do. Come over to the database quickly. We should have our feed in here now. We're getting meta information. We've got meta information. That is cool. Still processing it though. That's a bit strange. We'll leave it to do its business. All right, so if I just come back here, I'm going to grab that again because view page source. Where's he getting this from? That is an old version of my website. Thank you very much. That's when I was using GridSim. I've moved over to Jigsaw because I like to use PHP. So if I come back over to my database now, I can update the verification token to what's actually on my website. It's now verified. So already verified. So what I'm going to do is, if I go to the database, we're just going to set that back to 0. Come back to here. Request validation. So what I've been working on is, this is meant to batch a job which will fetch the meta information and verify the content. It gives you some information here. So add a meta tag to your website with the name of PHPOnline verification, with the content of PHPOnline, with this random string here. I need to fix that styling too. Then we've just got the content of it underneath there. Here's everything that's being pulled back at the moment. We've got the viewport, the description, the image alt, the title, the locale, type, Twitter widgets, Twitter card, description, title, creator, all the usual sort of stuff that you might get in meta information for anyone who's optimizing the website a little bit. And down here, we've got the PHPOnline verification part going here. And that is what I've got on my website. So now I should just be able to say requires verification. This has got a little number down there. That'll fire a couple of jobs off in the background. Check verification, it's doing some stuff. 50% is working through the batch, but it never seems to complete. So I'm going to have a relook at that at some point soon. But if I do that now, then it's a verified. Ooh, shouldn't be able to click on that. That's a new one. I have to fix some of this because this was a very hacky thing I just threw together. But my feed is now verified. That is the important thing. So if we come back to Notion, what have we got? Registering the RSS feed and showing validated versus non-validated. Perfect. So to start this off, I think what we need to do is we need to look at user profiles. So here's me. Here's my dashboard. And if I come over to my user record, have I got a username or yes, I've got a username set here. I've got my Twitter, my GitHub, got a few things all set up on there. Got job title and company ID all set up. So my username there. So I want to be able to kind of fetch by usernames when you go view a user. So if we just get that part done now, so I'm going to cancel that off because I don't need it right now. So let's worry about just loading up some routes web. Here's our static routes, package, streams. So at the very end, what we're probably going to do is we're going to set a new route. We are going to do a get request, and we are going to say users under the username. And we're going to say profile show as the name. And we'll create a new controller for this. Make a controller static users profile controller. And this is invocable. Right, so now I can easily just drop this down. Come to app HTTP controllers, static users profile controller. So if we go to / and there's no grouping going on there, so we can just go at username. So currently mine is Steve McDougall. So I should be able to now go to at Steve McDougall. And if I come over to the controller now, this one here, let's just clean that up. This is going to return a view. Let's just make sure we're getting the right return method. Sort the imports quickly. Right, so we are also expecting a user in here now. So let's see if it's going to get the right user record. Okay, let's just dump out the user. I've actually got Sparsely Ray. I just haven't installed it yet. Here we go. We have got. We don't have the user. So if maybe root model binding isn't working for that for some reason. So what I will do, I'll just I'll do a look at myself. So we'll say string and handle. Ooh. Handle. So let's just dump out the handle and see what it's actually given us. Is it giving us the entire thing? Steve McDougall, perfect. Yes, it is. So let me go to the user model a second. And what did I set? Has a username. Get root key name. This should work. So if I just maybe that's why. I say users instead of user. Yes, that's it. There we go. We have got a user back. So let's just go back. Let's just change this to what I would usually do. And let's just update this, make sure we still get the same record. Yes, we do. We still get me. Perfect. So this is going to be a user's profile. So we've got the user. What relationships are we going to want to pull back through? We're probably going to want their job title, probably going to want their company, any articles they've written, packages. What sort of things are we going to want to pull through? Feeds. We'll start with feeds because I've added a feed. So we can say user load relations. And to start with, I will just load up feeds. So let's make sure we're pulling through the feeds now. Relations, feeds. We have one item. Here's the attributes. The website that I pulled through. Perfect. So I am getting everything that I expected. So we're now loading that. We can now return a static users profile show. And we'll just pass through the user. So now if I come back, not found. Perfect, because I need to create the view. So let's go create that view. Resources, views, static. Probably don't need it under the users, do I? I could probably create profiles and show. So I could drop that bit. Show.blades.php. And if we go to this, this is what we're using. We'll grab that for now, stick that in there. So this should now give us what we were expecting. Static profile show, static profiles show, please, Steve. Get yourself together. I know you've had a couple of days off, but it's no excuse. So I've now got my user profile. Don't need that anymore. So here's my profile page. So what we're going to do is we're just going to say username. Put that in there. There we go. We have got my username sorted. So here's me. I have my feed, so I can do like a underneath here. I could just come and do something simple. Like for now, I'll just do like a div with a UL. Start this up another time, and we'll do a for else user feeds as feed. If it's empty, maybe do nothing, and then we can do end for else. Nope. So we've now got a feed. So what we can just do is like a feed title, probably feed name, no my luck. Test, here is my feed title right there. So if I just come back over to my feed and just rename that to personal sites, we've got it there. So what my next step to do here is we want to be importing feed items. So what I'll also do is we'll come over to hero icons, make sure we've got a nice icon for displaying whether these are verified or not. Have I got a component yet? Check circle. I do. So in my show here, what I want to be doing is, let me just add a inline flex on that one. We're going to add that in a span. What we're also going to do is we're going to do x icons dot check circle. I'm going to add a class of height 4, width 4 for now. So we get a nice little check next to it. Got a nice little check, that's fine. But what we want to do, we want to do a text color on that, depending if it's verified or not. So we'll just do something simple like feed verified. We'll put let's get some more screen real estate here. So text 500. If it is verified, we want the text to be green. Otherwise, we want it to be grey. So because mine is verified, it is green. The design will change on this, but that's not the important thing for now. So we can show if it's verified or not verified. We could probably add another one in a bit and just see how it looks. So let's go to my feed, submit a new feed. Laravel news, defo not mine. We'll say HTTPS laravelnews.com. Let's go get their RSS feed. And the idea here is because I don't own that site, I can't verify it. So I can't get the credit that this is my RSS feed, that this is my content. So I've now got 2 of them. One's awaiting verification, one has been verified. So now if I just go back to my profile, I've got 2. One, as you can see, is definitely verified, and one that hasn't been. So what we're going to do is we're going to start fetching the content from these RSS feeds because we've got the link to them. We can work with them. So let's close all of these because we don't need that. And let's start creating a command. So PHP artisan make a new command, and we're going to call this one feeds fetch feed items. Perfect. But before we do that, we need a jar. We need a, what do we need? Something else. A model. Make a model. we're going to call this a feed item, and we want a migration only. We don't want seeders. We don't want anything else. Hey, Marion. You've not missed much. I've just been showing how feeds work. So if I come up to here, I've got my personal website here where I've got all of my meta information is being pulled and my PHPOnline meta verification is being pulled through, and I've already verified it. I need to fix some of this styling. But what that means is that when I go to profiles, because we just created a quick way to view a user's profile, we can see that I have verified that one, but because I don't own the Laravel News website, I can't actually verify it. Later on, I'll be doing some DNS verification so that you can add like a text record. But for now, I'm just doing meta properties because it's nice, quick, and easy, and I can control it quicker than waiting for DNS to be updated. So we've got feed items. We're going to create the migrations and stuff now. So if I come over to database migrations, this one, for example, what we want to be looking at realistically is if I come over to the Laravel News feed, because they're going to be quite an interesting one to look at. Let's just open a tab and look at their feed. Yep. Okay, that isn't what I wanted, so I might have to look at my own. Feed.xml. So we're going to have the usual information around the channel where you're coming from for RSS, but then you're going to have this big item information going on here. And now we've just got to figure out how much of this information we actually want to pull through. We can get the actual link to it. We can get the publish date. We can get the author. We can get all of the content if we want to, or we could just stick with plain description. You know, do we want to be pulling all the content? Most likely not, because otherwise what's the point in going to view that website itself? And the idea is to support people, not to take over how their stuff works. So we're going to have a string for a title. We're going to have a most meta descriptions and most descriptions in general are quite, they're not usually huge, they're not meant to be. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put text in case some people either don't supply it or they don't pay attention to general rules. So we'll put the description here. What else have we got? Got a link. We could get the external URL for that one. We're always going to be able to get the external URL. And I'm keeping the naming relatively persistent when it's something external that you could go visit, because I'm going to be building an event-sourced way to track some of this. Not really bothered about the content. The GUID, that's pretty much the same as the URL, so I'm not going to worry about that. We'll get the publish date on there. We'll say, we'll do a date time. We'll do a published at. You can get who the author is, so that's just going to be a string representation. Up here, table string, we'll say author. I'm going to go a little bit beyond that, and we're just going to put like a JSON column in here, which is nullable, which is going to say meta, because what I'd like to do eventually is get like nice meta previews from people's websites as well. So the author, got the publish date, and we just need the feed now. So do a nice foreign ID for the feed ID. So we've got a title, author, description, external URL, published at, any meta information, the feed URL, the feed ID, sorry. So now we can just go back and create that model so that we can actually start building out everything. Feed item. So We're not going to have factories. I'm working with actual data on this one. So I'm going to horrify people with fillable because I like it. So we're going to have a title. We're going to have an author. We're going to have a description. We're going to have an external URL. Published at, what else did we have? Meta information and feed ID. Meta and feed ID. And I like to put feed ID, I like to put relation things in the fillable in case I ever need to fill it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are good. So let's cast some of this. So we're going to have what we got. Published at is going to be a date time, or I can't remember if it's date time or timestamp, but we'll figure that one out. And then meta for now, I'm just gonna cast that as an array because it'll be easy for now. I just want to hook up the feed. So public function feed. This is going to belong to another item. So return this belongs to, and we are related is going to be the feed class, and the foreign key is going to be feed ID. So we've got that there. So now let's go add the feed. Got an owner, that's fine. We know that. So public function items, and we are going to have many. So let's return this as many. This is related to feed item class. And the foreign key is the feed ID. So now we've hooked that up. We know that from a feed, we can get feed items. We know how they're going to be built. So let's just migrate that quickly. So migrate that across. All gone. Perfect. So now we can go actually work on the command that I was actually talking about. So let's just drop that. Come to the console, commands, feeds, fetch feed items. So feeds, aggregate. And the command description is going to be aggregate feed items from feeds. It really needs a constructor, but we'll keep it in there for now. Oh, no, you're not going to have a void on one. And this one. Hey, do you need me to hold her while you? That's okay. We are going to have a visitor, our youngest streamer yet. Hello, darling. Are you going to come help Daddy? Yeah. You coming to help? We're taking a baby break, so I do apologise. She says hello. You woke up hungry. You're looking at my funky shirt. So the idea of the next part is that we're going to go over each feed item and just dispatch a job to fetch. We're going to go and get the feed, then we're going to dispatch jobs, and then we're going to manage it from there. So that we're just kind of like spidering out so that our command can run relatively quickly and it's not going to choke up if we run this every minute, for example. Here she is. She's eating her fingers. You okay? She is the quietest baby I've ever had. Oh. Take 5, people. She's just so chill. How can she be so chill? Everybody needs cuddle breaks when they're working. Working. Well, streaming. Doing something. Here you go, darling. Thank you. Because you're taking her, obviously. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Right. Where was I? Right, okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to, this command, this is only going to be for the verified ones, actually, to start with. So feeds equals, we'll come and fill that in a minute. So what we're going to want is on our model down here, we're going to want to come to our feed. What we'll do is going to add a new method, which I like to do on these when I'm building scopes. Public function new eloquent builder. We're going to return a new feed builder. We're going to pass through the query. And we're also going to return that as well. So if I come over to here, builders, I can create a new one. Feed builder. This is where I'm just going to fly through a couple of things. Namespace, app, models, builders, nice and simple. Class, feed builder, extends builder from eloquent. And what we want to do, this is so we can quickly just query out verified ones. So public function verified, we're going to return back ourselves. So let's say this, where verified is true. Return this. So now with our feed builder, again, make sure that's imported so nothing breaks. Don't need that anymore. So now we can just say feed model verified get. And for now, I'm just going to die and dump on feeds because I'm only expecting one at this point. To make this nice and quick and easy, I'm just going to pull up Invoker because it's really, I love using Invoker. It makes life so much easier. So here it is. So our commands. So we can go down to feed, aggregate, run. Right, we've got our feeds. This is the output. Close that again. So over here, we have got our little commands which we can run. Here's a feeds aggregate, which I'm just creating. Aggregate feed items for feeds. Run that. It's bringing me back an eloquent collection. So what I can do now is, now I know that that is returning the correct thing. I can say feeds each. Yeah, we expect for it to be a feed. So we can get a feed, and what we're going to do is just batch a job, fetch feed items, not the, actually I'll do that in a bit. I'll loop over them first. So what I'll do, for each feeds as a feed for now. What we want to do is we're just going to get that feed URL first. We've called that feed URL, not external URL, because we don't actually want to reference it anywhere. It's just so we can actually fetch information. So if we come back to Invoker now, close that and rerun this, I've got the feed there. So I should be able to, using the Laminas feed, fetch these items with any luck. So Laminas feed. Let's come to here, consume and generate atom feeds. Let's go to the docs, not the GitHub. And what we want to do is we've got importing feeds, consuming RSS feeds, reader import, get properties, get author. So this is very similar to what I've already done before. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly do something relatively similar. So if we come down to streams, sync from LaraStream, what we're doing here is reader import. For each item, we're building stuff. So we're going to grab this bit, stick it in here, and swap this over because we're not actually getting it from LaraStreams anymore. And we want the reader to be imported. And that is a Laminis feed reader. And then we are going to run over each item. And do something here. So let's just do a quick time dump on that item and let's just see what that looks like. What I'm going to do in what happened? I think I broke the stream. We are sharing that screen. Pressing too many buttons at once. So log into my Sparky account. I'm going to install Ray so that we can actually have a look at Ray, because some people have told me that they'd like to see how Ray works. Products, Ray, where's, go to my account. Purchases, Ray, manage purchase. Here's my license key. Download Apple Silicon. Yes, please, save that file. So I hope everyone's bearing with me while I install Ray a second. That shouldn't take too long to download. And then I can just do some debugging nice and easily instead of using Invoker for this little bit. We can see things pop up in Ray and it'll be fun because I've heard a lot of people talk about Ray, so I managed to get a copy thanks to Haz. Thank you very much, buddy. Right. That is in. So now I can just say, Ray, open. No, I don't want to open that website. Ooh, let me hide the secret magic part. Okay. Activate on this device. Welcome to Ray. Ta-da! We have got Ray available. Perfect. Let me come back to here. Bring that back up. So now we've got Ray. We need to require sparsely Ray. Let's just do that. Composer require. Let's stick that in there. That's nice and quick. Thank you very much. So now we can just say Ray item. Let's just drop that for now. If we just open that up over there, we'll open Invoker as well. Run that, and we should start to see output in Ray. Hey, here we go. Look at that. We've got all of the items blasting through. So we've got a entry for RSS, which has got an entry, which will give us an item. It's got all of the information in there, and we can start to get some of this content. So this is pretty much useless right now. It's a pain to try and dig through any of this. So what we can do is we can, hey, how you doing, buddy? What do we want to do? We want to kind of build this as a, what do we want to do? We want to do this in the command. So we get it, and then we are going to get the feed item. And what we'll do is we'll just dispatch something, maybe. We'll use a job. Fetch say build feed item dispatch. What we're going to pass through is we're going to have the title, we're going to have the description, we're going to have most of what we actually need to build it, but I want to get some other stuff at the same time. So if I just come down to the model itself, so what do we want? We want the author, title, description, author, title, description, author. We're going to have like the external URL. But I'm pretty sure that's called a link in there. We need the published date, and we kind of want to pass through the feed ID as well. So what I'm going to do before I do any of that is we are going to say item get author. Let's come to Ray. How do we clear Ray? How do we clear it? I've not used it yet. Ooh, edit. Please do. Ooh. Ah, not what I wanted. No idea. What was that? Oh, I have no idea what I'm doing here. Here's a new window. Okay, we'll do it this way. We'll do it this way. Come on. Invoker. We'll run that again. So null. Okay, so we're not getting anything back from the author. My wife has joined the party. Thank you very much. I'm not talking to myself, honestly. What's she like? So can we get the, let's go back to Firefox and let's go to the documentation a second. So we should be able to get the title and get the author. That's from the channel. Item, title, link, description, pub date, language, category. Common item elements. These are what we want. Let's check the getting the published date. See how that looks. Now my wife is coming to join the complaining about my keyboard. I'm going to sit back like this. Let's see if this will work. Run that. Doesn't exist or couldn't be located. Okay, so that's just saying, no thanks, Steve. I'm not interested. So I am going to do what I did here. I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to cast it as XML and say, stop being silly. It's a great package for getting what you need, but it's still a bit of a pain. I won't be mean to my wife because she'll come and beat me up on stream. Right, so I've got that. I can now get I should be able to get the title. See, it works on other ones. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of array out this, not stream. Item. Let's just array out the item and see how that looks. Excellent, we're getting something. So the title is a simple XML element. The description, author, we can get most of it, apart from the description and title. That's fine. We could probably also do a call that a feed item. Yep. And now I know it annoys me. I just gonna have to do it more. Let's get the title. Let's rerun this. We're getting things. New blog. Slim 4. Excellent. I'm expecting this. This is what I was expecting. Perfect. Can I also get the description? Because that's the other part that I definitely need. In worst case, I can update a lot of this in other ways. I can. Descriptions. Descriptions. Perfect. It's almost like I've done this before. So now I've done all this, I can bring this back up. Let's make a new dispatchable job. Make a job for feeds. Feed items. Build a feed item. Right. So let's get that. Let's now import that. So we can get the title. We know we can get the title. There's the title. Then we're going to get the description. Then we're going to get feed item author. Then we want to get the external URL. Let's just be link. Then we want the published date. So we can just say, we may as well, we'll pass it through here and we'll do it in another way. Ray, how is it coming back? Yeah, I'll have to check the published date in a minute, and the feed ID is going to be feed ID. That'll be everything there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab that, and I'm going to ray out the feed item and die there. So I only want to do it once so I can actually see how it looks. Let's run that. Yep, we knew that was going to go wrong, so we can get the pub date. Pub date. So unfortunately in Dispatch, you can't actually give the named arguments, which is a little bit annoying, but it's something I can live with for now. Sort these inputs before they annoy me. Now let's, so we're going to have a public string title, public string description, public string author, then we're getting the public string, there's a link, this is the pub date, then we are also getting integer for the feed ID. Excellent, so once we've dispatched that, we're going to handle it. And what we want to do is, to start with, we want to, yes, definitely smiling, always smiling. I've got a great life. Right, so I've got the link. I'm being passed through the link. So let's do a feed item equals feed item update or create. And what's going to be unique? The link is probably going to be the unique thing here, I think. Yeah, the link's most likely to be the unique part of this. So I can say this link, and if it isn't, then we can say, well, here's the title. Here's the description. Feed item. We need an author. Let's do the author up here as well. Author is going to be this author. This external URL. The meta is going to be empty for now, and the feed ID is going to be this feed ID. So now we've got a feed item. Let's see where we're going. So our command will do all of this. This could be dump on a link before I get too ahead of myself and make sure that this works. Great wife. I do. I have got a great wife. She actually puts up with me. Okay, so that's actually an array. That's going to be a pain. Welcome to feed item. What does it do? Does it give me it just as a 1? Yeah, it does. So I don't actually need that other part for link here. So I can just say feed item link. That's going to pass everything through, blah, 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 blah. Here's a feed item. We're also going to have the publish date. So we'll have a publish date there. So for this part, we need to carbon. We want to pass the date that's coming through. This pub date. I'll pass that, that'll save that. So now we've got a feed item. We can go get some meta information. So get meta info on article, which is very similar to how I'm doing the fetching metadata here anyway. So I can grab this. It can be very similar. Let's pull in the open graph again. So we want the feed item, external URL, and then we can get the feed item and just update the meta information to be this pre-built thing I've got here, which just filters out anything empty. So all we're going to do, we're going to get the data, run it through a quick function for the array filter, and if it's null, and basically only return if it isn't null or if the value isn't an empty string. So it's nice and clean and quick and easy. So now when I run that command, we should dispatch plenty of jobs. Let's go to our jobs table. For now, I'm just going to truncate that. So we should see a few pop up in here. Hey, I'm actually using Ray. Here it is. Thanks for the license. It was really helpful. Can we start again? I don't think my wife would like me disappearing all day, all night, as much as she might say otherwise. Right, we're running. Oh, ID. Oh no. Oh no, what's gone wrong? Make sure nothing's gone in there. Okay, so we have done something wrong. Come on, Steve, wake up. Feeds, getting the feed there. Okay, so instead of that, here to learn. No, she's here to cause abuse. She's here to just shout at me. So we are, instead of calling this feed, we are going to call this imported feed. Let's just do it like that. That means the feed ID should be fine now. So let's just rerun that. And that is ran. So now, because we're queue runner working, we've got all of these jobs running because that's all the items in my queue. Ray doesn't need to do anything right now. So I can just come along and Here we go. So Artisan queue work. Oh, everything's failing. What's going on? Why is everything failing? Why are you doing this to me? All right, let's go check if failed jobs and see what it's complaining about. Attempted too many times. Yeah, very useful. SQL state, unknown column description in field list. Really? Build feed. Here's a feed item. Here's a description. Let's go look at that migration and make sure that that's still on there. Which feed items? Oh, wait a minute. Silly Steve. It'll be helpful. Oh, there's nothing there. Okay. Spelt it wrong. Roll it back. Move it back up. Supportive or just, moaning at your husband? Which one's it going to be? We've got jobs again. So our queue worker should be running. We're processing. We are processing. So as you can see, we are now building the feed item. So if I now come down to here and just refresh this, so feed items, you can see I've got all of my blog links, the author, description, the external URL, when it was published. Yep, dates are relatively correct. And all the meta information. So let's have a look through here. We've got a summary, large image, a Twitter card, Twitter site, image. Okay. No, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. This is going to work. This is going to work. So I can now just stop that running. Don't need that right now. So bye-bye terminal. Don't need the database or invoker anymore because I've done all of that magic. So now I've got all of the feed items. I know I'm going to want to run this on a schedule. So on my kernel here, so we're syncing from Lara Stream every hour. And we're also going to schedule a command. Schedule command. And the command is going to be fetch feed items. That one. And we want to run this daily, really. We don't want to run it too much. We want to run it daily. So there's that scheduled. That's cool. Can that double for each be cleaned up? That is probably very true. I could. For each feed item, imported feed as item. Can you get the imported feed? I could do a little bit. So I could do like a feed map because it's a collection. And as I map over it, I know I'm going to get a feed item, which is going to allow me to run over the for each. We're only reducing it a little bit, to be honest. Don't know if it's going to give any speed difference. So what we'll do, we'll run it again to see if it complains. Nope, no complaints. Perfect. Yeah, the lag makes it really awful. So I've got to keep clicking on this screen and then clicking back on my other monitor to make it kind of focus. So if I just kind of come to, here's my code editor. It takes a while until I click on the other screen. It's a StreamYard thing. It's only got certain capabilities. It breaks like mad. Right, so come back to the browser. I don't need that right now. So here's my feeds. So here's my feed there. how am I referencing this feed to start with? Does it have anything? It's got a UUID. So I could probably go to OCD with line count. I'm not too bad. I've got a lot more relaxed as time's gone on. So, okay, so this is where I'm going to start a root group instead. Root, nope, we want a prefix. Prefix. I'm going to name all of these as profile something, and then we will group them. Cursor, it might be actually. It might be. It's something I'm playing with. I'm probably going to optimize it a little bit later on, if I'm honest. For now, I'm just going to keep it relatively simple because I know it's working, and I will worry about optimizing a little bit later when I go through and add some polish. Because right now, I just kind of want to play a little bit, see if it works. Right. Which means we won't need that anymore, which means we can do another root get. So profile, feeds, feed. I don't know what we're linking if we're setting VUID on that one. So we'll do a name. We're going to say, okay, this is feed the UID. So instead of profile show, this will be profile feeds show. We'll drop that down for niceness. And we better create that controller too. So PHP artisan, make a controller and users feed show. For now, I can refactor some of this in a bit. App HTTP controllers users feed show. Right. So now if I just come back to the resources views, static profile show, where we got our feed down here. Yeah, you've got to be able to see the beard. You'll be able to spot when the grays start coming in. Right, so I'm going to drop that inline flex for now. Just going to turn this into an A. The A will have a class of inline flex. And then we're going to have the href to be root static user profile. Let's go back to web. So we've got static profile feed show. Static profile feeds show. And we want to pass through just the feed UID on that one. We drop a line. So all we're doing there, here's the little snippet of code. So let's go have a look. Ooh, static profile feeds showed is not defined. Okay, so let's do a nice, quick and easy fix. Then boot list, and I want to grep for feeds. Feed static feeds show, apparently. So it's not actually within the profile like it should be. That's because I've moved it out of there. That should be in here because it's for a specific user. So let's run that again. User feeds show, static profile feeds show. That should now show up. Missing parameter. I need to pass through the user as well. Okay, so now we have to feed owner. Username. Before we do that, what we're going to have to do is come down to here to stop lots of nasty queries. Load. Okay, we're pulling through. We should already be pulling that user through, so I can actually just skip that and go through to the username. Perfect. So feeds, bam, perfect. We are seeing a feed, or seeing a page at least. Spaces or tabs, neither. Neither. I actually use tabs, but because I'm using an editor, I can convert my tabs to spaces, please. So it doesn't matter what I'm using anymore. No, I don't know. I don't know whether you can set something in the EMV. I don't usually have issues with root caching. So if I come to controller, static, users, feeds, show, drop that. Now we can get the user, and we're also going to get the feed. Make sure that's imported. Import class. Yep, that one. I'm just going to dump out that user and then dump on the feed. So here's a user. It's a correct user. Here's a feed. That is a correct feed. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So now we can just do a nice, quick and easy feed. We want to load in items. Return view for static something or other. What we call these static profiles. Profiles, feeds, show. And we're going to compact both user and feed. If you can see that nicely. So all we're doing is we're going to get it. We're going to just quickly load in the items. Then we're just going to return this view. Nice and quickly and easily. Clean that up a little bit. Doesn't really have to be on another line. Code quality can be worried about later. I'd probably do some sort of authorization, spell it the American way, because yeah, I've got Ray running now. It's really good, absolutely incredible. Definitely helpful. Took me a while to figure out how to clear something though. So right, okay, so let's reload this. Cool. So now we can create that view. We can tell those to go away, come down to views, static views, profiles, feeds. Should upload at PHP. So if I come down here, I can just kind of grab that. And then what we've got is we have got a feed title. There we go. got my personal site one, and very much like what I've got going on here, I'm just going to do a quick one of these just to kind of drop an LI in there. No items yet. And for else. In that URL. Just add that div, and what we'll do is feed items as an item. Do that way too often. Li, so we can get the item title quickly. So let's just have a look at this. Hey, Rich. So here we go. I've now got all of the items from my personal blog, which has now been verified. So come back to feeds. Here's one that I verified because I own it. It's verified through a meta tag at the moment. Obviously, I can't verify Laravel News. And I'm currently not pulling anything from Laravel News because I can't verify it. It's not verified, so I'm not going to start pulling content right now. So here's all the titles. So what I'm going to quickly do, I'm just going to grab something from somewhere. Where should I grab it from? Here we go. Tailwind components is good. Tailwind components, because I don't want to use Tailwind UI to do this open source stuff right now. I'm just going to grab a card. Let's grab a nice little card, not a testimonial, block quote, Instagram, crabbly crap craps. I wouldn't call that a wicked card design. Let's just grab a nice little card with maybe actually find one. How about this? What's this one look like? Yeah, that'll do. Show the code. How messy is it? It's actually not that bad. Do we want the top? No, not really. We just want everything within it. So let's just grab that for now. And what we're going to do is like that. Come back to our browser. Yeah, it's because I'm using StreamYard. The frame rate's really awful for some reason. So here is all of those. So I'm going to quickly come along here and I'm just going to stick this in a container with some padding on the top. Make sure that's saved. There we go. We've got all the items now. Here's all of the items. That's going to be the publish date. This is going to be. Why aren't you formatting? Text great. This is some sort of category of some description. Here's a title, so I can say item title. Yeah, I really need to sort this out, don't I? I'm just going to swap this from a P to a div for now. What I will do is I will item description, just in case any HTML gets stuck in there for some reason. There's the item title down there. Here's a visit article part. So now if I come back to here, here is some content from my website in the exact same order. We'll test and optimize. I'm sorry. There's actually so much. I don't know if it improves on the live stream when it's been recorded or not. Suppose we'll see. So looking at item published at. Let's see if this has been casted right. diff for humans. 3 weeks ago, 6 months ago, 7, 7. Cool. Cool. So what I would do is getters. And what we want is we want the, don't want any of that. Difference, any of that stuff. We want the where is the format I like to use? Common formats. Here we go. This is the one I like to use. So you are my wife. You are more than entitled to complain however much you would like. End of the day, you put up with me. Bam. Okay, so I don't really want the time on there because who really wants to see the exact time something was posted? Not really. Very useful. 30th of April, 26th of April, and what I need to do, because they're a little bit too close together, is on here, we're going to do a quick space Y for, and each one of these is going to have, let's do something like a, for now, background white, rounded large, shadow, medium. And we're also going to want to do a PHPOnline. Make sure it's got a little bit of padding in there, make sure it looks reasonable. I don't know what I'm going to do with this announcement. Let's have a look at the meta. Let's see what it says. Let's see what it does. So if I just kind of dump out the item meta. I never listen. I'm useless. Title image. So Twitter. I can get a Twitter image. You have to build a helper at some point to get images. Don't think there's much else I can get right now for this. Got a description, got title stuff. Twitter site stuff, get an image. I'm not sure why it's not getting that OG stuff as well. Because it is all there. Definitely something I'll have to have a look at a little bit later on. For now, I think that's all I can really get from it. Yeah, there's site titles there. Yeah, I'll have to build a helper to get the image. So for now, I'm just going to stick the author up in here. Just in case, you know, something like Lara News posts theirs, or someone else who's got a multi-blogging platform posts theirs, you know, you want to be able to say which author it is, even if it's on a different profile, I suppose. These things can be important. So this was all me because it's my blog, which is fine. And when you visit, it's not going to go anywhere yet. So let's just link that up too. So visit article. Finish this bit, and I think we'll almost be done. So we can say item, external URL. Eventually this will be using the event sourcing system I'm going to build underneath so that you can track links. So no opener, no follow, And what we'll just do here is just like UTM source equals phponline.dev feeds, something like that. So if I hover over that, we're going to go bam. We're now at the website. Go on to site 1. We've got a referral there, UTM source. I'll have to look at see if there's a more generic way to do the right kind of tracking stuff so that people can catch it on their analytics, because obviously I don't know if that will register. Use Fathom. Let's see. Oh, what did I log in with? Can't even spell my email address. Cool. So now current referrers, PHPOnline tests. That's cool. Referrers, local host. Does it have any like UTM stuff going on? No, not yet. Okay, I'll have a look into that. But we can now go, we can go view articles. And what I'll do, I'm going to be building a bookmark feature. So maybe that's going to change to like bookmark so that people can bookmark your content and come back to it all in the PHPOnline stuff. High bounds. I know it's because people don't really care. That's why they're not that bothered. So if I just come over here, there's probably some of these packages, just in case anyone hasn't seen it yet. So come back to the browser. We can now see these packages. So let's just see all of them. And let's scroll down to the IDE helper. So what we're doing here is we're just pulling stuff from the Packagist API. We're getting the description from the composer file. We're getting all of the sorts of information we might want to do. I need to look at removing any empty values, got all the requireds. So what you can actually still do is you can say, okay, so it's using this. So if I click that, it'll take me to that on the exact version. And Packagist, any dev dependencies, this won't do anything. So I'll probably need to add a filter at some point, but it's also using a sparsity package. Good old freak. And then it's got funding options, so you can actually click on that person and get sponsor them. So this is packages. Podcasts, I don't think I've got any podcasts in the database yet. Let me go check. Podcasts, yes, we've got Full Stack Radio because I like Full Stack Radio. It's a shame Adam doesn't do it as much anymore. Let's come back here. Full Stack Radio. I'm sure I've got something, a command to fetch stuff. I don't have my podcast one built yet. I will do that another time. So if I just go back over my little plan, we've now registered our RSS feed. We can show the difference between when they're validated and non-validated. Yes, it's ugly, but we'll get there. Importing feeds on a schedule, user profiles. We can now see showing feeds on a user profile, podcast and packages. So we could probably pull those through, but there's no point displaying them yet because they don't have much on them yet. And I still need to figure out how that part is going to look. So user load, feed, packages, podcasts. So that is now, so if let's go to at just Steve Gain, now getting everything here. So I could just do a quick for each loop over everything to show them. I could view static profile show. We can do another, this in here. So write this in a container, MX Auto. We can do, just keep it at that for now. Or something similar. And then we're just going to loop over for each user packages as a package, or for else, sorry, because then we can catch the empties. If it is empty, we'll just drop an li in there for now and just say no packages and for else. And put li there. I should be able to go to the component packages card. I should be able to say X packages card, which allow me to say package is package. Let's see if that works. No packages. I thought I had some of my own packages. Apparently not. User packages. So let's just relate them quickly. So I am user number 51. So let's go packages, and I'm going to say these ones that I built are actually mine. We'll do validation at a later date. We've now got them all in there, nice and easy using Laravel components, Blade components. We'll do a space y of 4. So we've got my packages again. Looks exactly the same as if you were on this page, just laid out differently, but we'll worry about layout later. And then podcasts, I'll assign myself a podcast and we'll get that displayed too. So again, we'll do it above because that was a bit ugly. Class container, MX Auto, and we'll do a UL class of space y4 and a for else on user podcasts as a podcast. If they're empty, we can do an li saying no podcasts and enter for else. Li, and I'm pretty sure again I've got a component somewhere. Site, no. Static pages, home. How am I displaying them? Latest podcasts. It's a Livewire component. It is just this here. I'm just going to grab that. Nice and dirty, nice and easy. There we go. So let's go back, look at my profile. Bam! I've now got one. So let's display a little bit nicer. Div. Let's grab those two and we'll just say that we want a bit of padding either side. There we go. So we've got our information here. So there's no items being pulled through for that one because it's not verified. That one is, so we're getting content. Then we've got You can go click to see full stack radio, which I've not linked up yet. And then these, so I can go view the package, or I can click on the external link. And yeah, I need to set that up too. Lots to do, lots to set up. But I've now got all of my profile information. That is all starting to fill up nicely. Need to work on a design. Got quite a lot of fixing to do. I've now got an Algolia account set up, so I'm going to be looking at search at some point soon. Lots of cool stuff to do. What else have we got? That's it. So we're going to be looking at the Sparsely DNS at some point soon. I can hear my wife's on the phone, so I might take advantage and do a little bit more. DNS. Cool. So now I've got Sparsely DNS. So if I come over to the feeds, this is what I wanted to do on the feed page. Actually, no, I won't. I've been putting this off for way too long. So what is it? It's not released yet. It will be PHPOnline.dev when it's released. I've already bought the domain name. I've had it for way too long. Just trying to get some of this done, to be honest. Great article. So, right preview. Don't want that nav. Preview right. We don't want that. I'm just going to say that for now. So let's come over to here again. Your articles. Submit a new article. And we're just going to say something like rows equals 12. So a nice big box for now. What else do we have in articles? Article, so we got title, we're going to want a summary, so you can kind of do that magic. So I'm going to put helper text in this at some point. Summary, and this is smaller, so we just want this to be 6. So let's go to the Livewire component 2. HTTP Livewire articles create. So we're going to have public string summary, body status. Status is set for you, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. The level, so I believe I have, is it a database? Got topics. Level. I think I've got a helper for the levels. So in app support article level. So here we go. We can do a nice little select option with those. Article level all. We just add this in here. Public array levels to stop us having to do PHP in the view. All. We can say public string level, nice and simple, nice and clean. What else have we got? The category. So okay, so we're going to want to go public function mount this categories equals category. Just want all of them. So we can do another array, public array, categories. We'll start it off as an empty array, and then we can say public. I'm going to set it to an ID, so we say int category. topics. That's going to be a separate component. So we will have to do like a public array of topics, empty to start with. Cool. So we've got our summary, got our title, we've got our body. We need to get the level. So we're going to do a, have I got a select box anywhere in here? Yes, we've got a select box. I'm just going to grab this. Something very similar. There we go. We'll do something like this. Before the body, so you do all of the building of the article. So div class is py3, px6. This is all going to be redesigned at some point. Like that. Put that back down. What's article level all? So if I come over to article level all, it is literally beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Just there's no point having anything in the database to organize this. They're never going to be any more than beginner, intermediate, or advanced when it comes to articles. It's just a level of, it's just aimed at people beginning with PHP, someone who knows PHP, or someone who's maybe a bit more advanced with PHP. We don't see, so it's not feed, so it's not select a feed, it is select a difficulty, and we've labeled that level. We select for each levels as a level. We've got the level. String to upper. No, we don't want any of that. We just want to have like keywords. In case we ever expand it, levels. Let's go look at that. Select difficulty, intermediate. Perfect. That's going to select that. Category, so select category basically. Probably going to do a type ahead search for some of this at some point in the future. But for now, constants, it's constants. So let me come back to here. Let's go back to this here. Let's just grab X button. Let's grab an X button for now. Save me having to build stuff out. No one likes having to build stuff when we don't have to. So form. So just going to do an update at the bottom. This is all going to be designed, by the way. It's going to be worked on. It's just something that I've been meaning to get done. And I keep doing other stuff. We're going to target the body. While loading disabled. Action message for the saved. So let's have a look at our form now. That one down there. So we're going to say a test article. This is the summary. It should be short and sweet. It is a beginner one, and then this is where we'll do something like level must not be accessed before instantiation. Level. Okay, there you go. My bad. It should be short and sweet, like me. Not very tall. So it's beginner one, and this is where we'll do something like heading 2, list items code, and then save. Cool, submit. So now we just need to, ooh. Can you hear me? I don't know whether my headphones just died. Please, someone shout at me. This is where we will validate. For now, I'm just going to do some empty rules, protected rules, just to test it. And we'll just say something like this, submit, saved. Ooh. Oh, you can still hear me, good. That's good to hear. The title is required. I don't know what I'm going to use for Markdown just yet. I'm going to figure that out a little bit later on. The important thing right now is just to try and get some stuff done, because I've been putting some of this off in favour of doing some more fun stuff, which I probably shouldn't be doing. I'm going to set a max on the summary of like 140 characters, because I think it should be quite short. It's just a quick introduction, just like it would be on meta descriptions, for example. You need your, not description, it's body. I apologize. Body, summary, we've got to have a level. So this is going to be required. It shouldn't have to validate the in part here. In the explode, split a string by a string. That's implode, isn't it? I'm turning an array into this. So I want to implode article level all. So it's got to be within one of those levels. Category and topic, I'm not going to worry about right now. Not in 0. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why I'm doing a short amount. So 120 is a good shout there. I'll probably put like a minimum in that too, because, you know 10. Yeah, I want to be strict. I want to say, I want the level to be within one of the allowed ones at this point. So let's just go back to here. Let's just say save. Constant expression including invalid operations. It's going to complain about something. Definitely going to complain about something. Let's have a look at the LiveWire docs for that quickly. Docs. Validation. Protected rules. Yeah, it's nothing to do with it. It could be that, because that causing the issue. Because I'm doing stuff. Saved. Yeah. Right. Now they don't change them. They shouldn't change on front end because they're being loaded. But if someone was to come onto here, inspect, add a new item, I don't know whether it would be passed through. Like if I go to edit as HTML and just create a new option, mean, it's not going to do much damage because I'm going to do some filtering anyway. Okay, we're going to create the 10x engineer option because that's always needed, right? Change to 10x engineer. When I submit, I just do a quick time dump on this level. Advanced. It's not even noticing the change. That is so funny. What is going on with that? So select value. Have we wired it properly? Oh no, because we're doing defer, aren't we? So it's not actually being updated yet. So if I just drop that defer. So test. Inspect. Editors HTML. What I'm going to quickly do is to drop that in there. Just going to grab this. Linux engineer. Linux engineer. Now, if I just do that, save, it's coming back as empty. Right there. Still empty. How about advanced? Still empty. This is so strange. What is it doing? Something's going winky wonky on this one, isn't it? Network. It is not changing at all. So we're getting all of that. So what I'm doing, I'm just going to drop all of these. Y model title, level. That's all fine. This should now bind. Yeah, being odd. Being a bit of an odd one, isn't it? So set the difficulty, beginner. Okay. Level beginner. Level intermediate. Okay, so it is working now. It was just, yeah, winky, yeah. Wait a minute. Winky, wonky, donkey. This is a fantastic book for children. We bought it for our son and he loves it. Test article. Test. Bam. Intermediate. Perfect. It's now wired up. It was just me having a moment. Right. So now we can, then we'd move on to like this point down here. We'll save article and do stuff with it there. So eventually I'd like to move this into some form of like markdown preview element, but I'd rather get it live, to be honest, and worry about adding that afterwards or something, because it's taken me long enough to get this far. So for now, I think I might call it a day. I've got more than I thought I would done. You know, we've got user profiles, showing feeds on user profiles. Can we, like that user card? I suppose I could update the article card quickly. It's a good book, such a good book. So resources, views, components, article, card. Where have we got the author name? Here. So that should be under profile show, static profile show, I believe. Static profile show, article, author, username. So now if I come to here, ooh, not defined. Profile show, static profile show. Oh, that's going to be part of the ordering, isn't it? Maybe. Static profile show. How come level is commented out? Whereabouts? Where are we looking? Because it kept complaining. Let's just go back. Constant expression contains invalid operations. It's complaining about something to do with this. And I'm not sure what. I don't know whether I might have to build a custom rule for that one. So that's probably what I'll do for now. I'll create a custom rule to do create custom rule. Card here, static profile show. Yeah, the lags create. I'm going to look at getting OBS set up properly for next time, because this is hard for me as well as it is for you. Nobody likes having a crap stream, right? So static profile show. Why is this just... This should be fine. I've got nothing after it. I've got nothing that actually clashed before it. It's static like that. So if I come up, static. There. Wrong part, but good spot. Here we go. So now if I click on Dion Fisher, he's got nothing. Noopes. This person has also got nothing. And then this person has also got nothing. But if we go to the marvelous profile of me, I've got a lot of stuff because I'm building it, so I've got to test it. Full stack radio, that'll be linked eventually. All of the feeds are now working. So I can go visit the article. All packages that I've added. Got any podcasts, and I've got my feeds. So I think I might call it a day at that. I've covered everything that I wanted to cover. I've pulled in the sparsity package, and I've added some other stuff. For now, I think I'm happy. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to bid you all adieu, and thank you for watching. Any questions while I'm just closing up and committing everything? I'm going to do an evil commit of whip straight into the main branch because I'm the only one currently working on the project. Cheers, Has. It's fun. It's fun that I really want to get this feed validation working properly. Obviously, I need my queue runner running. Queue work. That's dispatching. Stuff is going. Building feed items. Blah blah blah. Requires validation. Wait for my batch to be processed. See you soon, Wi-Fi. Something went wrong. Please try again. So I've got an error coming back, which is fine. But I'll have a look. Take decisions. I just kind of make stuff up as I go along. Right. I will catch you all on Twitter. Yeah, I'm ignoring the validation wall for now. That's a problem for another day. It's almost 10 o'clock here. Got work tomorrow, and I have not properly chilled since the kids have gone to bed. So I'm going to go and relax. So I want to say thank you, everybody, for coming, and I shall see you next time.